Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Dan D Fishing. On today's episode, I'm going to talk about off-season lure organization. We all get tackle over the off-season, and it gets to be a mess. The other thing I want to talk about is off-season rod maintenance and off-season reel maintenance. So stay tuned and let's jump into it. Alright guys, like I said, today on the video we're going to talk about tackle box organization for your lures, swim jigs, punching jigs, rigs, A-rigs, whatever the hell you got. We're going to talk about organizing it. Also, I want to talk about cleaning your rods in the off season, oiling your reels. You want your stuff to be tip-top shape when it comes to starting the season out. In the off season, we all, get lures and stuff at discounted prices from the local stores. It's off season; they just want to get them out for the new stuff. So I tend to buy a lot of stuff then. Also subscribe to like Lucky Tackle Box, Mystery Tackle Box. Get it all. You get tons of lures and other tackle. But when you get it and you just throw it in your boxes, you end up with that. That's what happens when you're disorganized or in the middle of the season and you're switching lures. And that's definitely not what you want, because, you might be fishing a bladed jig, all of a sudden, boom, you see them hitting top water, so you want to switch to a frog real quick. So being organized really helps with that, so you can get after that specific style of fishing that you want to do and do it quickly if you don't have multiple things rigged up like most people aren't going to do if they're just fishing from the bank or, weekend warrior, stuff like that. So, that's a main thing we're going to talk about is what I do in the off season to get
Step
ready.
one to lure organization is get boxes. You can see here, I got lots of boxes. Just bought a couple new bigger ones today. Going to switch over to a different style of tackle box, something I can take with me easily and still fish with it on me, because I don't trust people around here where I fish, plain and simple. So first step is to lay your lures out, or your worms, or whatever you're doing. Organize them by style, color, whatever you want to organize them by. I recommend laying those out so that you can get them put into your new box, get your divider set, and really just have a nice, easy way to organize stuff. After you empty one old box and find a bunch of random stuff that don't even belong in the box, you kind of just lay them out, something like this. Just a few of my crankbaits and whopper ploppers and, walking baits, stuff like that. I like to decide where stuff's going to go so you can set the dividers. I like these boxes. They're Flambeau boxes. These dividers sit in there really well and hold stuff together. That's one thing I really like, especially like this one's some, kind of my jig heads and hooks and stuff, but they hold them in really well. There's no mixing and matching boxes. So I really prefer these Flambeau boxes. Easy snap off tabs. You just snap them off, put them in. Sometimes you just got to trim a little bit of plastic or whatever. And boom, just like that. Nice and organized. You continue this the whole box. And, once you start the season, everything looks nice. You look like a nice, complete angler. So as I finished up here, you can see it's nice and organized. I got some whopper ploppers, some square bills, some jerk baits, some nice top water jointed, even some vintage stuff that works nice and sinking. But all nice and organized. I can reach in, grab, pull out. I did my bladed jig box here. Just a couple things with some spinners and a couple random jigs. And then, of course, my frog box. Can you guys guess what kind of frogs we got around here? Yeah, leopard frogs. But, it's just nice to be organized. Have some, simple tackle here. You just reach in, grab it, hook it up, and go. Plastics. Such a versatile way to fish. So many different kinds. Some of my favorites are the, the Destroyers and the D-Bombs by Missile Baits. The Yum Dingers. Those are great around here in both this color and just the watermelon and pumpkin seed. Vile bugs, zoom tubes, those are great for smallies around the area. So how I like to organize these, if they come in a bag or box, that's where they stay. I do not like to take them out. They dry out sometimes, just rather leave them in there. Otherwise, I will organize them something like this. I like to keep my cross together in the colors, big, small, of all. Some of my, smaller chartreuse worms, my Krabby Bass Senkos, keep some of those in here. Some smaller tubes and stuff. Anything random that I get in spots, I like to organize them by color a lot of times and by type of plastic, whether it be ribbon tail, Senko, cross, pretty typical. In here I got a lot of my Senko, some of my finesse worms, some cross, some lizards. Believe it or not, this thing caught me tons of bass last year on a little jig head, nice stand-up by VMC. A lot of Senko work. Just awesome. But that's a good way to organize your plastics by type and color. Keep your colors together. It's just easier that way. Like I said, if they come in a bag or a box, leave them in there. Just better for them. I like to label all my boxes like that. Nice organized. They'll be in this backpack. I had that tackle box, which is a great tackle box by Flambeau and Mike Iaconelli stuff. But all that stuff's going to be going in there. So that's part of that.
All right, now another important aspect of the off season is keeping your equipment, rod and reel, in tip-top shape. Oiling the reel, cleaning the rod, checking it for cracks or broken eyes, anything like that. Here we have a Lew's speed stick. It's an IM7 blank, the Lew's reel. One important thing is that I like to do is take it off of the seat. Check the seat. As you can see, it gets pretty dirty over the season. Give that a quick clean out, with a rag or whatever, just to make sure that that stays good, because a lot of water and scum gets in there. Then it gives you a chance to check that part of the rod as well. And then what I like to do is look over the reel. As you can see, I had a few bird's nests when I first started out and got this. I had to kind of cut off there. Everything's pretty smooth. It's quiet still. It's a great performing reel, but it only stays that way if you take care of it. One thing I really like to use is Penn oil. Really good lubrication. It's simple. Open it up and you look at the guide here that it goes back and forth on. Put a couple drops in there, and then a lot of times they'll have a oil spot here. Just put a little bit there, and then just simply crank it. Gets nice and lubricated. You can even put some on this slide here. Let that go back and forth. I also recommend, when you line it, or you have an older line on there or anything, definitely make sure you put some, real snot or real magic on there. Just keeps your line nice, keeps it nice and smooth, lubricated. It gives you farther casts and keeps everything kind of tighter and allows it to not backlash as much, not dig in and get underneath. So that's a good thing to do. I already did this on my Daiwa Fuego reel. I fish this thing pretty hard through, whether it be flipping or frogging. This is my go-to reel this year for that. That's going to be a Lew's Heavy or Super Duty this year. But this thing's been through a lot and it's still in great shape because of simple maintenance. I just can't say it enough. Take care of your stuff, and it's going to take care of you and allow you to catch good big fish. Also with these, I like to take a rag or wet rag, warm water, kind of wipe stuff down. Just look at your eyes. Make sure they're not bent over. Make sure that the line isn't eating into them. Just simple things. If they are, if you need to repair them, send them in. I know Lew's has a great customer service. They'll take good care of you. So, it's just simple things. and it allows you to make sure you have less problems while you're out there on the shore, on the boat, fishing with kids, whatever you do. It just makes things a lot easier. It takes 5 minutes to do in the off season, even with your spinning rods, anything like that. So, just some simple tips from Dan D Fishing here. I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, put a hat on and go fishing.
See, like and subscribe to Dan D Fishing.
Like and subscribe to Dan D Fishing, and when Daddy wear the hat and then go fishing. Okay?
That's right. Wear a hat and go fishing. Thanks, guys.